Welcome back to CarCastDaily, the channel where we cover the world's greatest machines. Today we are talking about the car that has defined performance for over 6 decades. The 2026 Porsche 911 Turbo. And I promise you, by the end of this video, you will understand why this car is considered the greatest sports car ever built. This is not just any sports car. The 911 Turbo is a machine that has been refined for over 50 years into something close to automotive perfection. Fast enough to embarrass supercars. Comfortable enough to drive to work every single day. The 2026 model brings updates that make the already legendary 911 Turbo even sharper, even faster, and even more connected to the driver than before. We are going to break down every single detail today on CarCastDaily. Design, powertrain, performance numbers, interior technology, price, competition analysis, we cover it all. And we answer the question every car enthusiast in America is asking. Is the 2026 Porsche 911 Turbo still the benchmark? I am your host on CarCastDaily. If you are new here, subscribe right now because we post weekly content on the world's most exciting cars. Without further delay, let us get into the 2026 Porsche 911 Turbo. Before we talk about the 2026 model, let us understand what we are dealing with. The Porsche 911 debuted in 1963. The turbo version first appeared in 1975. For over 50 years, this car has defined what a performance car should be. The 911 Turbo earned its legendary reputation the hard way. Le Mans. The Nurburgring. The Targa Florio. Road racing, rally racing, endurance racing, the 911 won everywhere. And each win made the road car better. In America specifically, the 911 Turbo became the dream. The car you put on your bedroom wall. The car you work toward. It represented the pinnacle of what a sports car could be in everyday life. And for 2026, Porsche has refined the 911 Turbo with updated aerodynamics, a more powerful engine calibration, new technology features, and suspension improvements that make this already perfect car even better. Let us start with the design. The 2026 Porsche 911 Turbo has an instantly recognizable silhouette that has not changed dramatically since 1963, and that is not an accident. This shape is genuinely aerodynamically perfect. The Turbo S rides on the wide-body package as standard. 45 mm wider at the rear than the base 911. Those flared rear haunches house massive 305 width tires. The stance is wide, planted, and absolutely aggressive. The round headlights. The 4-point LED daytime running lights. These have been part of the 911 identity for decades, and on the 2026 model they are sharper and more defined than ever. The active rear spoiler on the 911 Turbo is one of the most iconic design elements in automotive history. At speed it rises automatically to increase downforce. At low speeds it tucks away cleanly. Engineering and design working together perfectly. The rear engine lid has 3 horizontal cooling vents integrated cleanly into the design, letting the world know exactly what is underneath. Those vents mean business. The 20-inch front and 21-inch rear wheels are available in multiple finishes. The turbo-specific cross-spoke design looks aggressive and purposeful from every angle. These are not just wheels, they are part of the visual identity. Color options for 2026 include Guards Red, GT Silver Metallic, Jet Black Metallic, Gentian Blue Metallic, Crayon, Python Green, and a full Porsche paint-to-sample program where you can order virtually any color imaginable. The drag coefficient on the 911 Turbo is 0.30 CD with the rear spoiler deployed. For a car this powerful, that aerodynamic efficiency contributes directly to both performance and stability at high speed. Step inside the 2026 Porsche 911 Turbo and the cockpit wraps around you. This is a driver-first interior. Everything is angled toward you. Everything is within reach. Nothing is unnecessary. The centerpiece is a fully digital 12.6-inch curved instrument cluster. It shows everything: speed, RPM, navigation, lap times, G-force meters, in crisp ultra-high resolution. It is genuinely stunning to look at while driving. The center infotainment screen is a 10.9-inch touchscreen running Porsche Communication Management (PCM), Apple CarPlay Wireless, Android Auto, and Porsche's own suite of performance tracking apps are all built in. The steering wheel is a 3-spoke GT Sport wheel, flat at the bottom, with paddle shifters and a dedicated mode switch right on the wheel. In Sport Plus mode you feel the car change character instantly. The seats are 18-way electric adaptive Sport Seats Plus. They read the G-forces during dynamic driving and automatically firm up the side bolsters to hold you in place. You do not fight the car. It holds you. The Porsche Track Precision app connects your smartphone to the car and records every lap, GPS trace, throttle position, braking points, lateral G-forces, on a detailed map. This is a track weapon that also happens to be a road car. The cabin is remarkably well insulated. On the highway this car is quiet enough to hold a conversation at normal volume. That is the duality of the 911 Turbo, ferocious on demand, civilized when you want it. Now, the engine. This is what the 2026 Porsche 911 Turbo is really about. At the rear of the car sits a 3.7-liter twin-turbocharged flat-six engine. Rear engine. Flat-six. Just like every 911 since 1963. The 911 Turbo produces 572 horsepower and 553 pound-feet of torque. The Turbo S steps up to 640 horsepower and 590 pound-feet. These are extraordinary numbers for a 3.7-liter engine, proof of just how advanced Porsche's engineering has become. 0 to 60 miles per hour in the 911 Turbo, 2.8 seconds. The Turbo S, 2.6 seconds. Let me say that again. 2.6 seconds from a complete stop to 60 miles per hour. In a car that has rear seats. In a car you can drive to the grocery store. Top speed, 198 miles per hour for the Turbo. The Turbo S hits 205 miles per hour. And unlike some exotics that claim high speeds, these are real, verified, tested numbers on real roads. The PDK Dual-Clutch transmission has 8 speeds and shifts in under 100 milliseconds. That is faster than a blink. Faster than any human could ever manually shift. And yet it feels completely natural. Porsche Traction Management, PTM, is the all-wheel drive system that decides in milliseconds how to split torque between front and rear. It is why this car launches so cleanly. 0 wheel spin. 0 drama. Just acceleration. The quarter-mile time for the 911 Turbo S is 10.5 seconds at 130 miles per hour. That puts it in the same league as supercars costing 2 and 3 times more money. The Porsche Active Suspension Management, PSM, reads the road surface and driving inputs 100 times per second and adjusts the dampers accordingly. On a smooth track it is taut and precise. On a bumpy city road it absorbs everything comfortably. The braking system uses carbon composite rotors on the Turbo S, the PCCB system. From 100 miles per hour to 0 in under 100 feet. These brakes are extraordinary. Rear-wheel steering is standard on the 911 Turbo. At low speeds the rear wheels turn opposite the fronts, shrinking the car's turning radius. At high speeds they turn the same direction, adding stability. It is genuinely remarkable technology. The 2026 Porsche 911 Turbo S lapped the Nurburgring Nordschleife in 7 minutes 16 seconds. For context, that puts it faster than cars costing $500,000 or more. The engineering efficiency here is unmatched. The Sport Chrono package, standard on Turbo and Turbo S, adds a physical analog stopwatch on the dashboard, launch control, and a dedicated mode switch on the steering wheel cycling through normal, sport, sport plus, and individual. Launch control in the 911 Turbo is genuinely violent in the best possible way. You hold the brake, build boost to 4,000 revolutions per minute, release the brake, and the car fires you forward with an urgency that physically presses you into the seat. Even in Sport Plus mode on a racetrack, the 911 Turbo remains manageable. It communicates through the steering. It tells you exactly what the tires are doing. That connection between driver and machine is what Porsche has always been about. And the exhaust note. Even with turbochargers muffling the flat six, this engine has a sound that is completely unique. A flat six howl that builds as the turbo's spool. There is nothing else that sounds like a Porsche 911 Turbo. The 2026 Porsche 911 Turbo comes loaded with technology that genuinely improves the driving experience. Porsche InnoDrive, an extended cruise control that uses navigation data to predict corners and braking zones ahead. Night Vision Assist uses a thermal imaging camera to detect pedestrians and animals up to 300 meters ahead, well beyond the reach of the headlights. On a dark canyon road, this technology is genuinely useful. The Burmester high-end surround sound system is a 821-watt, 14-speaker setup developed specifically for the acoustic space inside the 911 Turbo. Even at 150 miles per hour, the music comes through with perfect clarity. Porsche Connect Plus adds real-time traffic data, remote vehicle functions via your smartphone, and over-the-air software updates. This is a 2026 car with genuinely modern connectivity. Standard driver assistance includes adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, traffic sign recognition, and front cross-traffic alert. The 911 Turbo is sophisticated enough to assist in heavy traffic and precise enough to lap a racetrack. The Porsche Dynamic Chassis Control, PDCC, uses active hydraulic anti-roll bars to eliminate body roll in corners. In Sport Plus mode, this car corners completely flat. Zero lean. Zero drama. Like it is on rails. Porsche also offers the lightweight Sport package, which removes rear seats, adds magnesium roof, and strips weight. If you are taking this car to the track regularly, this is the package to have. Let us talk money. The 2026 Porsche 911 Turbo starts at $214,900 in the United States. The Turbo S, the top of the range, starts at $240,800. Before options. With options, most U.S. buyers spec their 911 Turbo to between $250,000 and $290,000. The Turbo S fully loaded can exceed $320,000. And Porsche's order books are full. Demand is enormous. For $214,900 you are getting 572 horsepower, 2.8 seconds 0 to 60, a top speed approaching 200 miles per hour, and a car comfortable enough for a cross-country road trip. In terms of performance per dollar, no other car on earth comes close. Compare it to a Ferrari 296 GTB at $330,000 for similar performance numbers. A Lamborghini Huracan at $280,000. A McLaren 750S at $310,000. The Porsche undercuts all of them. And still keeps up on the racetrack. Porsche 911s also hold their value better than virtually any other sports car on the market. A well-maintained 911 Turbo from 5 years ago is still worth 70 to 80 cents on the dollar. The depreciation curve is incredibly flat. Porsche offers a 4-year, 50,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty plus 4-year roadside assistance. Maintenance intervals are every 20,000 miles, reasonable for a sports car of this caliber. Who competes with the 2026 Porsche 911 Turbo? On paper, quite a few cars. In reality, none of them offer the complete package. Let us look at the real competition. The Ferrari 296 GTB is faster on a racetrack. But it costs $115,000 more. You cannot drive it to the office. The engine needs to warm up before you push it. The 911 Turbo is ready from the moment you turn the key. The Mercedes-AMG GT63S is a rival. 4 doors, similar power. But the AMG does not have the 911's analog steering feel. It does not have the 50 years of racetrack DNA. The Porsche communicates. The AMG just goes fast. The Chevrolet Corvette Z06 at $110,000 is the American challenger. It is magnificent for the money. But it does not have all-wheel drive, it does not have rear-wheel steering, and it does not depreciate as slowly as the Porsche. Real-world ownership. The 2026 Porsche 911 Turbo gets approximately 16 miles per gallon city and 22 highway. For a 572 horsepower sports car, that is completely acceptable. Drive it gently, and you can commute efficiently. The front trunk, holds 4.5 cubic feet of luggage. Enough for a weekend away for two. The rear seats fold to add more cargo. The 911 Turbo genuinely works as an everyday car. That is the miracle of this machine. The Porsche owner community in the US is massive. Porsche Club of America has over 100,000 members. Track days, driving tours, cars, and coffee events. Owning a 911 Turbo puts you into a world of like-minded enthusiasts. Here is the CarCastDaily verdict on the 2026 Porsche 911 Turbo. This is the greatest all-around sports car ever made. Not the most dramatic. Not the most exotic. Not the most extreme. But the greatest, because no other car does everything this well. It is fast enough to be genuinely dangerous on a track. Comfortable enough to drive across America. Beautiful enough to stop traffic. And it will hold its value better than almost anything else you can buy. That is a wrap on the 2026 Porsche 911 Turbo here on CarCastDaily. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, it genuinely helps us grow. Subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss a drop. And leave a comment below, Turbo or Turbo S? Which one would you spec? We want to know. See you in the next one. This is CarCastDaily. We will see you out there.